All right, welcome to Friday Morning Live. Super excited to be here with you guys. Friday morning is my favorite day. Looking at a bunch of different cameras here. I got 4 on me. Feeling good, and I'm excited to be here this morning. Let me know if you guys are watching the replay here. So welcome to the replay if that's you. If you guys are watching live, let me know if you're watching live too. Today we're talking about, today's the first trivia game we have going on. So I have no idea how it's going to go, but I'm excited and I'm confident we're going to make it happen. So I got a bunch of questions here written on my chicken scratch. So I think that in the future, maybe I'll write down on the cards, and then I'll hold that I'll hold the cards up, and then you'll be able to see the question. Like for now, I'm going to write the question on the bottom. Hi, Dolphin Lover. Over here on Instagram. Let me know if you're watching. Hey, Mom. My mom is watching on Facebook here. So, we're doing a trivia. I'm pretty excited about the trivia we have going on this morning. I have no idea how it's going to go, but we'll have to see if we can get some participation going with the questions I'm going to be answering. So, asking. I'll be asking, you'll be answering. Okay. So, let me know how you guys are doing in the comments. I'm just going to let it roll for a few minutes before we start asking questions. Before I start asking questions and before you guys start answering. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always nice to know let me know in the comments. It's always nice to know where you guys are watching from. Not too long ago we had Dave from New Mexico on the last show, I think, and then we had Monique from Germany. We had all over Alberta, Ontario. So that's always cool. I got this thing. I'm looking down at the computer, if that's what you see me looking down for. So I got this thing I want to drag on the screen. Let's see if that's going to work for me. Oh, that's not going to work right now. We'll put that up later. All right, so today I'm going to ask some questions. I wrote some questions down. I'm going to be asking them, and you guys are going to be participating. So let's get started. Oh, wait. Let me have a little tea in my I Love True Form mug. Morning, Jen. So we're over here we're live on Instagram. That's what if you guys hear me say on Facebook. If you see me saying hi to random people that you don't see on Facebook, that's why, because it's on Instagram. Instagram, we're also live on Facebook. So Facebook, our Instagram page is instagram.com/DrewTadia. And then Instagrammers, our Facebook page is facebook.com/TrueFormLife. This is my green tea that I drink every morning. We just finished a digestion group, and it went amazing. So we had 4 tips on how to improve digestion. Dorothy and I just did a radio show about that. So we talked back and forth about how you improve your digestion, and that was one of them was green tea and pu'er tea. So that's what I'm drinking. That's what I drink every morning. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Good morning, Rose. We got Rose over here on Instagram as well. We're doing True Form Trivia. Rose is actually coming to Entrepreneur Night. It's coming up next Thursday, or this Thursday, the 4th at 7 p.m. So if you're a business owner or entrepreneur and you're in the Olds, Alberta area, you're more than welcome to join us. So we got, my mom said, I'm just pulling comments on over here at Instagram. Mom said, looks like everyone's still asleep. It does look like everyone's still asleep. I thought that 7:30 is a good time. Well, I think it's usually a better time. We were going earlier. We were going at 6:30 Mountain Time, and a lot of people were still sleeping. Sue says, good morning, sir. Good morning to you, Sue. Thank you for tuning in. So today I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna ask some questions, and I'm hoping you guys are gonna participate a little bit because it's gonna be fun. Well, I'm excited. Maybe you're not so excited. There's no wrong answers. It's just for fun. I just thought like a lot of times we sit here and give away information. Like maybe that's not always entertaining, or maybe it's not all that exciting. I'm not sure. But I think that if we change things up and try new things, then we keep your interest, and then we give you another reason to tune in, because that's part of what we do. We have to try to encourage people to come and learn about healthy living, and it's kind of our goal, or it's kind of our job to help people in different ways. And when I say our job, I don't mean like it's a chore. I mean it's something that we love. So it's not anything that we don't want to do. We got Katie in here. Good morning, Katie. Thank you for joining us here. And then we have Dorothy. Dorothy says, good morning. Looking good. I'm feeling good. I got up early. I took Beach Dog Bear for a walk. I had a shower. I kind of had some breakfast. I didn't finish my breakfast. It was berries. It's chocolate berry mix. Chocolate oatmeal berry mix. That's it. So all I put is, you guys want the recipe? Let me know if you want the recipe in the comments. If you don't, then you don't need to sit through that. But it's delicious, and I don't want to eat. I could eat if Dorothy was here talking with me, but can't really just stop and eat. Maybe when I start asking questions, you guys get, if answers start coming in, I'll get a chance. But I'm feeling good. If you guys didn't get a chance, if you're not sure who Beach Dog Bear is, Dorothy and I did a day in the life about it's actually the neighbor's dog, and we share a backyard, so he's like always around, and I like dogs. I'm a dog lover, so I take him for walks 2 or 3 times a day, and breaks up my day from sitting in front of a computer. Or I'm actually starting to make more appointments here in the LA area, so meeting people and talking business, talking shop. So I didn't finish that sentence. That's actually on our YouTube channel. So youtube.com/trueformlife. I know a lot of you guys here on Facebook or Instagram aren't YouTubers, but are like big YouTube watchers. But we started that show, and we're on show like 25, 30. So, all right, Dorothy. So that's on our YouTube channel if you want to check that out. Dorothy says, how about we guess the recipe? Okay, but you can't guess, because you must know, or you have a really good idea. Does anyone want to guess what's in my chocolate oatmeal berry recipe? Let's see what we got. Let's kick it off with that question. That'll be the first question. So in the comments, let me know what recipe or what ingredients you think is in my oatmeal breakfast. So chocolate. What might that chocolate be? So there's only a few ingredients, so I can't tell you. You have to guess. Okay, guess. So in the comments, you guys guess it. And there's, let me count how many ingredients. Let's say 4 ingredients. 4 ingredients in my oats. So in the comments, let me know. I'll let it run for like just a few minutes, like 20 seconds. Dorothy says, I know exactly what it is. Well, of course you know exactly what it is. It's kind of cheating. Katie's laughing over here. And Dorothy says, maybe I'm not allowed to play. No, you're not allowed to play. Well, you're probably not allowed to play. I don't know. I think that might be cheating. What do you guys think? I suppose you can play if no one else answers. I think that people don't want to be wrong. I think that's why most times we don't answer or get involved in guessing games. Do I have, I feel like I'm starting to look like a raccoon a bit. Do I have like sunglasses tan? Because, I gotta stop that. Sue says, regular recipe plus cacao buds, like cacao nibs. Or is there something called cacao buds that I'm not sure of? Regular recipe plus cacao buds and berries. What are cacao buds, Sue? And what's the regular recipe? Good guess, though. I'll let you guys know in a second. Hey, Bafta. Bafta jumped on here on Instagram. We're actually playing a trivia game here on Facebook and Instagram Live. So I'm going to be asking questions, and yes, you do. Sue says, Okay. Here we got some answers coming in. So those of you on Instagram, I'm watching comments on Facebook and I'm watching on Instagram. So we have Dolphin Lover that said oatmeal, chocolate, yogurt, and strawberries. Very close, but that's incorrect. One of those is not in there for sure. But that was a great guess. Thank you for guessing. Dorothy says, I love raccoon eyes. Dorothy definitely gets raccoon eyes when she wears her glasses, like all the time when it's sunny out, and then your face kind of starts to look like this. So I'm going to put my hat on for the next couple days and let my face get a bit more tan, my eyes area. Dolphin Lover says, darn it. Well, thank you. It was a great guess. It's a really good guess. Oh, Sue said cacao nibs. So Sue said regular recipe plus cacao nibs and oatmeal and water. Okay, morning, Diane. Thanks for tuning in. It was just Diane's birthday. So happy birthday, Diane. Or if any of you haven't wished her a happy birthday, happy belated, right? So Diane, thank you for tuning in. We're actually playing a little game here. And it'd be so much easier if Dorothy was here to keep up with the comments, but we're going to rock it. We're going to make it happen. So I asked, the first question was, what was in my breakfast? This was my breakfast. It's chocolate. I said chocolate berry oats. So Sue said nibs, cacao nibs, oatmeal, water. And okay, very, very close. Yeah, I think that was it. Here, let's see what we got here. Hilda answered. She said oatmeal, strawberries, cacao, and maybe almond milk. Yes, that's a very good guess. Very good guess. Sue says, happy birthday, Diane. Dorothy says, I can't wait to Sri Lanka to have some awesome raccoon eyes. Is that what you meant? Okay. Happy birthday, Dan. You got some best wishes, Dan. Okay, let me tell you what's exactly in it. So for the chocolate, it was cacao. So if you guys guessed that, you were right. And then the mixed berries was actually, I had a mixed berry blend of cherries, blueberries, and strawberries. So you guys are really close. I don't think anyone guessed strawberries. Rose guessed oatmeal, mixed berries, cacao powder, and water. Yeah, that's awesome. Good job, Rose. You guys are right on. I just had, so the mixed berries was cherries, blueberries, and strawberries, and then the chocolate was the cacao, and then oats and water. Those cooked together. I just used water. I suppose you could use milk, or you could use like coconut water, for example, to cook your oats. And then sometimes I add a little bit of cinnamon just for the health benefits. I can barely taste it. Cinnamon. And then sometimes I add honey as well, but it's rarely necessary when you have mixed berries. So that was question number 1. Good job, you guys. That was fun. Okay. And pomegranate. That's not... Dolphin Lover says, have a great day, Drew. Well, thanks for tuning in. You have a great day, too. Dorothy says, pomegranate. That's a blend, too. I don't think that's even a word. So Dorothy says, pomegranate, but it's pomegranate. I don't even know how to spell it. Can anyone tell us how to spell it? Because I don't think there's an N in there. It's definitely not pronounced. Okay, let me get to the next question. I want to ask you guys... Okay, I got all these questions here. Okay, list 3 ingredients in our green smoothie. That's one of the questions I had here, so I'm going to cross this off the list. 3 ingredients in our green smoothie that we have all the time. This was also something we talked about in our digestion challenge. So we often have these little challenges that we put together. We just put together a 10-day digestion challenge. So I would like to know what 3, we have a bunch more, but name 3 ingredients in our green smoothie, and I'll tell you the rest of them. Or if you know more, listen, bonus points if you know more. This is my green smoothie right here. Green smoothie every morning. Let me switch cameras so I can show you exactly. That's my green smoothie. Dun, dun, dun. And that's my chicken scratch notes. Green smoothie. notes. Sorry, you guys on Instagram. You're not watching on Facebook, then you can't see me mess around with the cameras. But I have 4 cameras on me, and one's for the phone for Instagram. One is webcam that I can move around. One's the computer screen, which picture isn't great, and then we have our DSLR, which is our powerful one that gives us the best picture. Okay, is anyone guessing? I just need 3 ingredients. 3 ingredients in the green smoothie. I don't even know what to do while I'm waiting for you guys to answer. So this one's a bit more pulpy. Dorothy doesn't really enjoy the pulp very much, but I don't mind it. Except you have to chew it a little bit. I think there's a difference between like a green juice, where there's no pulp, and a green smoothie. I think the fiber is beneficial, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to digestion. But that's just my perspective. Some people swear by just juicing. Okay, Rose over here on Instagram, she said kale, spinach, ginger, and green apple. Very good guess. There are at least 2 of those in there, Rose. Which 2 do you think they are? I'll come back to that in a second. We do have a couple, excuse me, we have a couple answers here. We have celery, spinach, avocado, parsley, cilantro, ginger, and turmeric. That was from Sue. That was her guess. Celery, oh, and then she says, yes, cucumber. Celery, spinach, okay. Avocado, oh, very nice. Okay. I'll come back to that in a second here, Sue. I got another one here. We got another one here. Hilda said cilantro, ginger, celery, cucumber, and turmeric. That is the closest so far. Although that's 3. If we're playing the game, if I'm playing the game fairly, that's 3. So you got it. Sue got it too. And Rose, you're pretty close. So, okay. Is there anyone else that wants to guess before I tell you what we got going on here? Okay. So when we talk about green smoothies, our ingredients are, drum roll please. Our ingredients are celery and cucumber. That's the very base. What's super interesting to me is celery and cucumber combined make a complete protein. So a complete protein has all the essential amino acids that you need, or that you would need to build muscle, let's say, or that you would find in a meat, for example. So a lot of people would say that you need to have meat protein to build muscle, or to be healthy, or to be at your optimal health. Because everyone's like obsessed with, am I getting enough protein in my life? And most times that comes from like the bodybuilding industry, or maybe the meat industry, and how they're like, you need to have protein, of course, so they can sell more of their product. But you can get more than enough protein from plants. I eat meat just about once a month, twice a month, maybe, depending on where I am or what I'm doing. But usually, like, if I'm at home, I rarely buy meat. And if I do, it's like once or twice a month. And then if you go out once in a while, you'll have like a shrimp taco if we're here in LA, or if we're at a family's house, we'll have like chicken maybe. But it doesn't happen very often. And I'm able to maintain my muscle mass. And I also did a study on myself for 6 weeks of just eating plants and seeing if I could actually grow muscle. And I could. So that whole thing about you need meat to have to be healthy, or you need meat protein, it's a myth. It really is. There's all kinds of vegan bodybuilders. There's all kinds of professional athletes, Olympians that just don't eat meat. Not against the meat industry at all. I just want to make that clear. So you can combine, like, for example, like beans and rice, for example. Those are also a complete protein. So all the essential amino acids. So let me get back to my smoothie here. So cucumber and celery, that's the very base. That's the base of what we start with. That's in every one of them to make that complete protein. And then we have parsley, cilantro, and mint. So all different health benefits for different ones. Don't always throw all those 3 in, but I try to whenever possible. And then there's turmeric, tons of health properties, health beneficial properties. Turmeric and ginger, another one. Like, these are anti-inflammatory. They promote everything. They're like giant, there's crazy superfoods. So I throw those two in there, and then maybe a touch of cayenne pepper just to spice it up a little bit, increase metabolism, and get things flowing like internally. I feel like spicy foods like internally like get things going and flowing. So that's something. And then once in a while, well, usually I try to grind in a bit of pepper. I know it sounds funny or a bit odd, but turmeric can be difficult for our body to digest or to process properly. So, absorb is what I was looking for. So if you put black pepper in there, and we don't always say this because people are like, I'm not putting pepper in my green smoothie. The mindset of a green smoothie is hard enough for a lot of people. So that's why we put in a little bit of black pepper to help the turmeric absorb into our body and help with the benefits. So that's the green smoothie. So thanks for guessing and thanks for playing along. That was fun. We got another one. You guys want to do another question? Let me see what I have on my list here. How many hours of sleep is optimal? This is an easier one, like a shorter response. So how many hours of sleep should we have? Let me know if you guys would like or need like multiple choice, like A, B, C, or D. I got a couple true or false here, but let me know what you think about if you need multiple choice or if you're okay just guessing. Maybe the multiple choice would get more people guessing. So those of you coming in and now kind of just playing a fun little game here. We're on Instagram, Instagram.com/TrueDadia, and we're over here on Facebook. So Instagrammers, Facebook.com/TrueFormLife. And Dave's in here. What's up, Dave? Michelle, what's up, Michelle? Michelle's over here on Instagram. So we're just playing a little trivia game here. I thought it'd be fun to get you guys involved because many times it's besides the conversation of Dorothy and I or myself just talking and giving me information. I think it's better to see if you guys want to participate and offer your feedback as well because it's fun. So we got some questions coming in, or we got some responses coming in, and we have Dave says 6 to 8 hours. That's so. I asked how many hours of sleep is optimal. Hilda said 8 to 10 hours. Sue said 7 hours, and Diane said 6 to 7 hours. Awesome, good guesses, you guys. I'm just gonna see if there's anyone else guessing, and I'll tell you the answer here right away. Green smoothie going down. I just went over the green smoothie recipe. Playing True Form Trivia here, Friday morning live. And we were just offering a different way to share information with you guys because this is fun. Okay, let's talk about sleep for a second. Sleep, the short answer is optimal sleep is 7 to 8 hours. Who guessed that? 7. Dave was in there. Hilda was in, or 7 to 8 hours. Hilda was, no, Dave was in there. And what's up, Jordan? How you doing? We're playing True Form Trivia right here, Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Okay, so we had some answers. You guys are really close. I think 6, even 7 might be a bit short. And you know what's interesting? Like, I know this is challenging, and a lot of times people are like, don't tell me how many hours to sleep, or I know how many hours to sleep. I'm just going through research and like what we've learned, and I'm going to tell you about myself, and then maybe yours is going to be different. But optimal sleep levels, Dorothy says I like 8. So optimal sleep levels is from 7 to 8 hours. And you have people that are like, I can function, or I'm good at like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, or like 6.5 hours of sleep. So I feel like if we don't know what it feels like to get a good night's sleep, and many of us don't, like that's just the reality of it. Like sometimes we have slept for 5 hours like every day for 20 years, or we haven't had a restful night's sleep because of the food we're putting in our body, because of our stress levels, maybe because of digestion issues. So without actually knowing what it feels like to get like, let's say 8 hours of sleep. And I think most experts nowadays would say 8 hours would be optimal. Rose says, have a great day. Gotta go. Rose is actually the owner of Nera Cafe. We did a Facebook Live there quite some time ago now, but they're awesome. They support local. They have all kinds of healthy local foods. And Rose is coming to our Entrepreneur Night coming up on Thursday. You guys are welcome to join as well. And we'll catch you later. Thanks for joining us, Rose. Okay, so I'm just going to finish my conversation here. about, so some, I feel like many times when people are like only have a few hours of sleep, they're like, I don't need 7 or 8 hours of sleep. They're like, I don't need that. Like, it's not something my body needs. But I feel like if they had the opportunity to know what it's like to get a real restful night's sleep between 7 to 8 hours, they might change their mindset a bit. But sleep is challenging. It's really difficult to tell someone like, you need more sleep. And be like, no, I don't. And then we have the other end of the spectrum where we have people that sometimes sleep like, Michelle says 9. I just got 9. Sometimes, needed that. Sometimes if you're sleeping like 9, 10 hours, like that's a long time. That's a long time to sleep. And for me, like if I sleep 8 hours or past, I'm a bit tired. Like I'm overtired and I'm like groggy and I have a hard time waking up. And I feel like that's too much. Now let me go back a step, and I'll tell you that everyone's a bit different. Like everyone needs to have their own, like everyone has to decide what's best for them. So try 7 hours of sleep and try that for like a week. And if that's not going to work, if that's like okay for you, then try 8 hours of sleep and see how that works for your body, because we're all a bit different, but I do believe it stays in that 7 to 8 hour range, because I just don't think 5 or 6 hours of sleep is enough, because it doesn't give our bodies a chance to heal and recover properly. And I think like, I would even say 9's a bit long, like 9 to 10 hours. I think that's a bit long. But Michelle had a good comment here. She said, I got 9 hours and I needed that. So it's really different. So if you had a long day, if you're like mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, and like emotionally exhausted, and you get like 9 hours, for example, we have to understand that our body's like, that's what I needed. Our body said, like for Michelle here, she said, my body said that, is telling you that you need extra sleep. So you give it that. Like sometimes if it's on the weekend, or maybe you have a slow day, like Fridays are usually slow, which is why we decided to do Friday Lives to pick things up. And that was like a year ago almost. So if you're super tired and you had lots of things going on at work or in your personal life, and you usually sleep 7 hours and you sleep 9, you like give your body that opportunity and you have that chance, then it needed that. So that's okay as well. I'm going to come back to that. I'll finish that conversation, but I want to read some of your comments. Jordan over on Instagram, he says, been doing 7.5 hours lately and feel a lot better than when I was doing 6 hours. I used to crash so hard before. Yeah, thanks, Jordan. That's a great comment, because if we don't guess and test, like if we don't try what works, like how would we know? So if you're always like, 6 hours of sleep is perfect for me, and you never give yourself a chance to try 7, how do you know which is better? So it's super important to give your body a chance to try 6 hours, 7 hours, maybe 8 hours, and find your happy medium, or find out what's best for you. What's your sweet spot, if you will. Dorothy says, I like 8, but I usually get 7. That's, yeah, and Dorothy likes her sleep. Like I said, everyone's a bit different. I don't feel like I function great on 8 hours of sleep, like 8.5. Like 7 for me is max. Like 7.5. I usually get around 7 to 7.5. I know I feel much better at 7.5. But anything after that, for me personally, I feel like I'm just gonna plug the computer in here. I feel like it's too much for me. But like I said, everyone's a bit different. Unless you get outside the 7 to 8, 5 hours, like, without a restful night's sleep, you can't function the next day. And I think we all know what that's like when you're, like when you don't have the ability to mentally function properly. Like we get up and we're like groggy and we're trying to get through our day and like nothing's working out. We need to have sleep. It's so important. We got a couple more comments I'm going to drag on here. We got Sue. She says, drinking my smoothie and homemade kombucha. Yes! I love that, Sue. Thanks for sharing that with us. Dorothy says, talk about consistency. Great question, Dave. I'm going to answer that in a second. I love that question. Jordan says, love it. Everyone is different. Trial and error. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks for joining, Jordan. You guys check out Jordan's channel. He's on YouTube. Jordan's on Instagram. He's got van life. He lives in a van. He fixed it up himself. He's traveling around, running his business, rocking it. Thanks for joining us, Jordan. Have a great day. Dorothy says, talk about consistent sleep as well. how it's not the same if one night you get 5 hours and the next you get 12. Yeah, that's a great point, Dorothy. So if it's very difficult, like if we don't know, like if we're not consistent, if we don't have a week of 7 hours of sleep, how do we know? So if it's 7 hours one day and then it's 6 hours, 5 hours, and then 8 hours, if our sleep isn't consistent, it's very difficult for us to tell what's optimal for us. And then sleep, like being consistent with anything in life, like it's so important to be consistent and figure out what's best for us. Like most times when someone asks me a question, I look at consistency first. The consistency wins out in just about every single conversation. So if you're not consistent with your sleep habits and your sleep patterns, it's very challenging for you to be able to find out what's best for you. So again, if we go back to like 8 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours, and then you're like, oh, I felt better at 5 hours. Like, how would you know? It was just a one-off. So you'd have to try to sleep at the same time. And like when it comes to sleep, like we need to get into proper sleep habits. So go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time, every day. So now I can't really sleep in, and I don't want to sleep in because I like to get up and enjoy my mornings. But if you're going to sleep super late, you're going to want to sleep in. So if you go to bed at a decent time, like let's say at 10 o'clock, then you'll have the opportunity to get up at a decent time. Like I like to get up at 5:15. I know that's crazy for a lot of people. I'm usually in bed about 10:30 at the latest, and then I'm up at 5:15, maybe 5:30, just depending on how I'm doing. But I don't wake up with an alarm. I just naturally wake up at almost exactly that time. Doesn't matter if it's Saturday or if it's Tuesday. That's just my morning. That's just my habits. And I think that many of us like fall asleep and wake up, and then we don't know like when to go to sleep. We're blasting the TV or we're doing something that we don't normally do instead of having like a very specific routine that we do in the evening and the morning. Okay, let me. Oops, did I do that? Sorry, Dorothy. Nikki, she says, I usually get 7. 8 would be better, but I like my quiet time at night. Yeah, that's great. Like 7 to 8, I think it's fantastic. And it like our lifestyle is different, right? Like our lifestyle, we have to do what's best for our lifestyle. So even if 8 o'clock is better, like Nikki, she enjoys her quiet time in the evening, so probably stays up a bit later, so she enjoys her quiet time and then gets 7 hours instead of the 8 that she would like. So that's a lifestyle choice. Like maybe things would be a bit better, like functionality wise. But if you enjoy that time, like enjoy that time. Don't be like, I have to get 8. Just like enjoy those moments when you have time for yourself. Or maybe some people stay up later to enjoy time with their kids, whatever it may be. I think it's a great that you're able to get your own quiet time in and still function at optimal. Like I said, I would like to get 7.5 hours of sleep, but sometimes it's 7 or maybe a little bit less, like 6 hours and 45 minutes. Like we don't have to get crazy about it, but that's usually where I'm at, and I feel like I function the best on that. Michelle says I'm going to be like a whole new lady today. Yes, you are. It's you know what? It's so like rejuvenating when you sleep. Like it's so amazing when you get like a good night's sleep, especially if you're not used to it or if you have like a lot of things. I know like Michelle, for example, she's got a lot of things going on, like a lot of new things. So if that's you and things are like crazy, just think about if that's how your life is all the time and you're never really sleeping properly, 5, 6 hours, 8 hours here, 10 hours there, and it's all random. And then you get like a couple good night sleeps. You're like, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. So it's so important to make time for those sleeping habits. And then, so Dave says, do you recommend naps? Yeah, that's a great question. And my short answer is yes, absolutely. I feel like napping is important, to be honest with you. Now, I know it's challenging for people that work their regular 9-to-5 job. Who starts at 9? What time do you guys start work? You know, it's funny, like people always say like 9 to 5. I don't know anyone that starts at 9. Doesn't everyone start at like 8? Like 8, is it 8 to 4 or 8 to 5? Who starts at 9 o'clock? Completely random question. So those that have their regular day job and work from like 9 to 5, let's say, it's very challenging to to nap, like how, like it's really difficult like to go home and then nap and then get up. But like I nap just about every day. And when I tell people that, they're like is something wrong with you? Like, why would you nap? But napping is, so the best way to explain napping is that usually 7 to 8. You work from 7 to 8? Really? Dave? So I would say, so napping is not a great idea if you get into REM sleep. So rapid eye movement sleep is the deep sleep. So a lot of times people are like, oh no, I don't nap. I can't nap. They're like, I wake up in a bad mood. I can't wake up from a nap. I'm always groggy after a nap. That's because they're in REM sleep. They're in rapid eye movement. This is a deep sleep. But if you can nap for 15 to 20 minutes, some people aren't able to fall asleep in like 5 minutes. But just think about if you're tired, like throughout the day. For me, for example, you start at 7 or 8. Well, what time do you end work, Dave? So if I lost my train of thought here. Nikki says napping is awesome. Yeah, keep those comments coming in, guys. I'm with you. I'll keep up with you. So if you get in that rapid eye movement sleep, if it's a deep sleep and you're not able to get up, you slept too long. But if you can sleep for 15, like nap for 15 to 20 minutes, it feels fantastic. It feels great. So for me, I get up at 5, like around 5. I'll start work I do my morning routine. I'll probably start working around 6, like roughly around there. And I'll work hard. I work hard. I sprint. Like I do as many things as I possibly can. And I'm working I feel like I'm working like furiously. And it's push, push, push. And then at around, I think I can work till like 1 o'clock at that rate. Like at a super high pace, doing as many things as I can, 1 o'clock. So 6 or 7 to 1. That's 6 hours. That's a long time. I didn't realize how long that was. sometimes it's not quite till 1. Maybe it's 11 or noon, but that's usually how it goes. And I have 15-minute breaks. Like I'll go and I'll have a snack, for example. Of course, I have to have lunch at noon. So there are little breaks, but I go full tilt till around 1 o'clock, and then I do other things. And so maybe for example, I'll take the dog for a walk, or I'll go for a run, or if it's not a morning run, then I'll go for a workout or something like that. But around like between 1 and 3, depending on the day, I'll nap. And it's 15 to 20 minutes. I'm pretty tired. I work 6 hours is almost a full day. But we work till late in the evening. I work till 8 or 9, usually 8 or 9. I try to shut things down, hopefully around 9 o'clock. But that's a long day. So when I have a nap, it like wakes me up. And if I don't, like from 3 to 6, I'm like struggling to like think. My mind isn't very clear. I don't really have the inspiration or the motivation that I usually do. So if I take a quick like 15 to 20 minute nap, then I'm like refreshed. I'm ready to go. Then I go back at it and I sprint. And like every day is usually a sprint for us because that's how we work. So that's what it looks like for me. I take that nap and then I'll do something else active. Like usually here at the beach, I'll slackline, or I'll do whether it's usually run in the morning and then a workout in the afternoon. And then we do some more working later on in the evening. But without that nap, I feel like I don't have the opportunity to work late as hard as I work. Like I don't feel like I can get as much done if I don't have that work in there. Nikki says, Dave says I'm good with 20 to 30 minute nap. If anything longer, I just want to stay in bed. Yeah, and I think that I don't know, not like a scientist. I don't know exactly when rapid movement starts. I thought it was like closer to like 40 minutes to an hour. But so napping for 20, 30 minutes, and then that goes back to sleeping. Like what's best for us when we sleep. So I said for me, 7.5 hours. So for some of you guys, you said 7. Some people said 8. Some people said 9. And whatever's best for you. But I think that, so if you could nap for 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 20, 30 minutes, I think that's fine. But if you're getting to like the 40, 45 minute to an hour, I think it's going to be very challenging to get up and get on with your day. Otherwise, we just like groggy and I've done that, like wake up like miserable for no reason. I'm just like, yeah, shouldn't have napped so long. But then of course, like we go back to listening to your body. Like in some cases, maybe your body needed longer because you're sitting there exhausted. But if you have the opportunity to nap, absolutely. I've planned on like writing a long blog post or doing a radio show about like the art of napping. just because I believe in it so much. So yeah, absolutely. I try to. Great question, Dave. I try to nap every day if I can, so I can work later on. Those of you can't, or those that kind of stop work at like 5 or 6, or um, you have like different obligations, like you're running around with the kids or spousal stuff, like whatever that may be. Maybe you don't need to, like maybe you don't need to nap. Or those of you that go to sleep at like early, like 9 o'clock, then maybe you don't need to nap. But for me, something else I wanted to mention there that I wanted to mention. Shoot, something about napping. Oh, if I nap too late, so I have that window of around 1 to 3 where I nap. Like usually you're closer to 2, let's say. If I have like a little nap in there, if I nap like if I'm like super tired and struggling, if I nap between like 3 and 4 or like 3:30 to 4:30 around that area, I can't sleep at night. So you have to be conscious of this, because sometimes I'm like struggling to keep my eyes open. I'm like, I got to do something to keep me up. If it's late, sometimes like I have an appointment or something comes up and I miss that napping window. That's what I call it. I tell Dorothy, I'm like, this is my napping window. I got to go nap. Otherwise, I'm not going to get a chance to do it. So if things come up and I don't get it in that window, I can't nap at like 5 or 6 at night, because then I'm up till midnight. And then the next morning, I can't get up that when I usually do. Like I want to get up early around 5, like 5:30ish. So you have to be careful, because napping can be dangerous. Michelle says, let's see what Michelle said she got. Let me know if I missed any comments. Let me know. I'll go back and watch, and I'll answer them. Michelle says, I love a nap to reset, especially after sprinting. I don't think you have a slow mode, Drew. I know, I think that's a bit of an issue, Michelle. Michelle's been working with us with True Form for a little bit here, and she's been awesome, but it's true. I just feel like we have like these, like right now in my life, I feel like I'm healthy. I feel like I'm motivated. I feel like I'm excited about my like job and life and everything that goes on. So I like do as many things as I possibly can, as hard and as fast as I can. And I don't feel like my life is always going to be like that. I feel like I'll want to relax a bit, or I'll want to maybe spend time with kids, or maybe spend more time with family, or whatever that may be, like whatever comes up in life, or maybe travel a bit more. But I feel like I want to get my business, our business, where it needs to be, so I can take a step back. But right now, it's like going full tilt. And every day, like every morning, it's like 100%. And I rarely take breaks, because I love to work, but because I want to get my business where it needs to be, so we don't have to go push. But I know very well you have to put in the time and effort to grow and build your business. And this is 8 years in. A lot of people are like 3 years in, and they're like, I want to take a break. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. Not if you want to find the success or the level that you want to reach. So thanks for that, Michelle. Michelle says 100%. Yeah, no question. Michelle, you're pretty awesome too. I haven't met too many people that could keep up like you do, so you're doing good. Nikki says, heading out. Have a great day, all. Thanks for joining us, Nikki. Thanks for joining our True Form Trivia. I feel like I was planning on asking more questions, but maybe I talked too much. And anyone else? Oh, Hilda, what do you have to say, Mom? Love naps, so rejuvenating. 20-minute max for me. Yeah, awesome. Again, going back to napping, great question, Dave. I think it's so important to get a little, if you can, get a little nap in throughout the day. It'll change your day. And if you haven't tried it yet, if you haven't tried about 20 minutes, just give it a shot and see how it goes. Okay, we got another question here. Oh, this is a tough one. Does anyone know what my first book was called? Dun, dun, dun. Actually, okay, I'll give you a hint. It was co-authored. I didn't write this one myself. It was my first book. Super excited. I'll give you the title of it if you're not sure. I'll just give you a few minutes. I'm not sure if anyone would know or remember. Yeah, it was a smaller book, but it was exciting. It was exciting time. So does anyone have any guesses about what my first book was called? Oh my gosh, that was years ago. Like, of course, you guys probably wouldn't know, because at that time I didn't know how to promote, or I didn't know how to market. I hardly knew how to use social media. But I partnered with someone in town, and we wrote the book together. And I should probably do more around it. Like, I should at least let people know about it. But I was like thinking of questions, and I was like some personal questions, some true or false questions, and I was like, I wonder if anyone would know or if anyone would remember. I don't know if Dorothy's probably not with us anymore. Just a few more seconds. Does anyone know what my first book was called? Here are my other two books. Here's what they're not called. So this is Detoxify Yourself. Most of you know that from CTV News, Global News, 30-day meal plan to help you start living the life of your dreams. 30-day meal plan to reduce toxins in your life. To we have a 30-day meal plan with our gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, GMO-free. Dave says I know, just can't remember it. I barely remember it. I wish I had like a physical copy. We have ebooks. I think we sold out. This is years ago, of course. We sold out of a bunch of the original copies. I think we ordered another round. Maybe we sold a couple hundred books. It wasn't really like a big thing, but we had them in physical copy. And so this was actually, I think this was actually my third book. Everyone thinks this was my first or only book, but I have this book. Then we wrote a little recipe book. So I had that first book that I'm going to tell you about in a second. I had this little tiny recipe book that's about this size. Then I wrote Detoxify Yourself, so this could be considered a second or third book. And then I wrote this success journal. I don't know if it's not really a book, but there is quite a bit of words in it. Like this is me like walking you through each day, like changing your mindset, talking about like positivity and it's different than like just a journal. It's not just a journal. So that could be 4. I don't know what you consider an actual book. And then I'm hoping that I can release my entrepreneur book. It's a smaller book. It's like a little pocket book, but it's about 200 pages, and it's my random thoughts of like business and like in business and life and connecting and all the things that I've learned over the years running a business. So this is about 8 years now. So I'm kind of excited. I don't feel it's ready by any means, but I was doing some research and following people, and like Seth Godin says, launch early, don't launch late. Seth Godin's one of my favorite business entrepreneurs. So there's going to be some errors, there's going to be some edits that need to be done, but I want them printed. I need them printed in my hand. I'm going to print 50, and hopefully next week. So if anyone's watching and interested, you can let me know, and I'll get you a book. They're going to be $15, and it's going to be my thoughts on business specifically. So I'm super excited about that. Hopefully they'll be printed next week. So much goes into books. Like, you know what I think of, like when I go to like a bookstore and I like see a book and I've got like a whole shelf. I'm surrounded by books everywhere. And I think about like it took so much time. Like we sell these for $20, and it took me like over a year to write this. And I was like, it's only $20. And like people are like, oh, $20? And I'm like, you know how many hours? If I broke that down, I would get paid like less than a penny an hour. Of course, unless I'm selling millions of them, but so much goes into books. So think about that next time you're at a bookstore, next time you want to buy a book, or if there's like a local author, how much time and effort they put in, because it's not like whatever they're selling their book for, 10, 20, $30, like the time and effort they put in is worth way more. Of course, you can't charge more for books, but I just think it's interesting that people are like, oh my gosh, $10, I'm not buying that. And you're like, oh man, I just spent the last year writing that. But anyways, the book is called Elevate Your Health. So that's the title of it. That was our first book. I remember who you're calling, and that was with Rick. Let me see if I can drag a screenshot in here. I don't even know if I know we have the. Is it there? No. I'm going to see if I can get a picture of it. Elevate Your Health. I know I have the ebook somewhere. It's not coming to me. I don't know where it is. It might be on my external hard drive. Oh man, I wish I had it so I could show you guys the cover of it. Wasn't even planning on like really talking about it, but we had the cover of it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of exciting, but exciting at the time. Like I said, we haven't done much with it now for years, but that was an exciting time. Like anytime one of your ideas like comes into fruition, Dorothy calls it fruitation. Oh, here's a picture. Let me see if I can drag this picture on the screen. Oh, it's super tiny. Did you guys do videos together too? Yeah, that was him, Dave. Yeah, we were new into business and like all excited, and we wanted to work together. We did work together. We actually had it's a kind of a business. It wasn't like a real business, but it was like a pretend business called True Health Matters. So we got a logo designed and like we did the whole thing. It was kind of fun, but didn't exactly go in. We actually designed a product, and we were going to sell this product, and I'm not sure what happened. Like nothing happened like bad. Like this, we didn't have any problem with our relationship. It wasn't like things didn't work out. It just wasn't going in the direction that both of us wanted to go. So we took a step back, and we're like, oh, we'll come back to that. And we did other work together. And maybe that's when I had Complete Truth Protein before. So that's the book cover, Elevate Your Health, right there. I pulled it up on the screen. Those of you guys on Instagram, I pulled it up on here on Facebook. So that's the cover of it, Elevate Your Health. It was fun. I do have the ebook. If anyone's interested, you can probably have the ebook. If anyone's watching this right now and you want the ebook, I'll just send it to you for watching this. It's about, I think the book's like 120 pages maybe. So I'll send you the ebook. Otherwise, we charge like $10 for the ebook. And then we didn't get any more printed in physical copy because you gotta pay for the books, and then you sit on them, and then that's money invested that is just sitting there. If you're not promoting them, they're not going to sell. So if you want an ebook, let me know. And so we used to do videos. Thanks, Mom. Hilda said that we did great videos together. The videos were fun. And you know what's funny is that we get a lot of feedback, like, oh, you guys are really good on video, or like you guys do good videos together, or we love watching your videos. And like our videos started way back. I was doing videos for years. I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube. And I was at this conference, and there was this guy, and they were talking about this guy who had like 1,000 videos, like he's been doing this for years. He's got so many videos. He's got over 1,000. And I'm like, I have over 1,000. Of course, like this guy was a big YouTube guy, so he had way more views, and he was like real professional type videos. But still, I feel like I was like, I got a ton of videos, especially if they're like, I think most people have like a couple hundred. We got over 1,000 videos on YouTube. So youtube.com/trueformlife if you want to go back and check any of those out. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so those are on there. So the lighting wasn't great. We were in a coffee shop, and sometimes like the blender was like, and we didn't know any better. It was like the first time we were doing videos. So that was fun. It was fun. It was a great experience, and it got to me where I am now. So I'd never take it back. But that was my first book, Elevate Your Health. So there you go. And that was the picture I dragged on the screen there. Okay. What I want to ask you, true or false? Okay, true or false? I don't know if this is an easy one. True or false is swimming is the best form of to heal an injury. So maybe like active rehab, let's say. So true or false in the comments, swimming. So those of you coming in and out, I can see the numbers go up and down. If you're coming in and out, we're playing true form trivia. I'm asking questions, you guys are answering. So let me know if you think it's true or false that swimming is the best form of active recovery for some type of injury. Go ahead. Let's see what you got. I'm having some green smoothie right here. Any comments coming on? Anyone want to be right or wrong? Oh, I got this one. True. Sue says true. Hilda says true. What do we else say? Dave says true. We got all. I'll just drag these on here. Yeah. Michelle says yeah. Yes. I don't know why my program brings them all the way to the left now. Not sure. I used to be able to put these comments anywhere. Okay. Yeah, you guys are right. Was that an easy one? Easy one. Yeah, without a doubt. Like it's so swimming, for example, like if you have like knee injuries, back injuries, Michelle says you're much lighter in the pool. Makes it easier for movement. Well, actually, it does make it easier for movement. But you know what it is? It's the pressure around the joint. So usually, like, it's a knee issue, or like, I don't know how you can say, like, a lower back issue. It's like a hip issue. Like, it's great for ankles. Like, there's constant pressure, and it's the only way you can have that resistance around, like, around a joint. Like, think about your elbow for a second. Like, what could you hold around your elbow to help strengthen that injury or that rehab, let's say? Like, nothing. Like, you could hold it. Like, you like go to rehab and like push against my hand, right? Like, or like pull, or you have like these little vibration things that like gets deep into the muscle. But if you think about like what else could replicate water, like the pressure that water that it entirely engulfs your joints or whatever injury you may have, like knee injuries are the biggest ones. So your knee injury, like what could you do to cause resistance forward and backwards, which isn't like jolting or which isn't like pulling. So without question, like, and then you're lighter in the body. Maybe that's part of it, Michelle, but you're not like, there's not a ton of resistance where it's going to like hurt you, or like it's not going to be, like I said, there's nothing like pulling or jerking, or it's not even like a machine. Like many times, like one of the worst things you could do for your knees is like sit on one of those machines. You have to picture my arms as my legs. You sit on one of those machines and you push, like they're called quadricep extensions or something. It's one of the worst things you can do for your knees. But if you go into a pool, or if you're in water, for example, and you get a chance to have that constant pressure all around your joints or all around the injury, for example, that's going to make a ton of difference in whatever injury you may have. So you guys guessed it. Nice work. What else do we have? 2 ingredients. Do you guys know what, we did this in our digestion challenge. Do you know what ingredients are in the green tea? I thought that'd be a fun question. 2 ingredients. I guess I kind of ruined it. Do you know the 2 ingredients in the tea I drink every morning? Oh, I got to get better at my trivia. Okay, I'm just going to leave that for a second. I got 2 different things in my morning tea. You guys got to tell me what it is. Let's see what you got. See what you're working with. And I'll think about the next question. I need like music or like Jeopardy. Jeopardy's got like the worst music ever. Like, no, but everyone knows it, and they've been playing the same music for years. Okay, the 2 ingredients in my tea. Does anyone know what it is? Or maybe I should say the 2 different types of tea, because I already gave one away. Go ahead and leave that in the comments here. And I got another question coming at you here. Anyone? Anyone gonna guess? Those of you that are coming in and out, those of you coming in and out, we're just playing True Form Trivia. I'm asking questions, you guys are answering sometimes. Oh yeah, you got it. We're out of here, Instagrammers. Thanks for tuning in. Instagram only lets you go live for an hour. Coming around the hour mark. Okay, so I don't know if anyone else is going to answer, but you got it right anyways, Mom. Nice work! You're listening to what I'm doing, what I'm preaching. So, I'm trying to think about how to spell it. So, green tea and Pu'er tea. And that's what's in my green tea. I drink that every morning. So, Pu'er tea and green tea. Green tea, tons of antioxidants. It's known for like a natural boost of energy. I would call it a cleaner type of caffeine. A softer caffeine. It gives you a natural boost of energy. And you don't have to worry about any type of crash. Now, Pu'er tea, I'm not sure if that's how you spell it. Can someone help me out with that? Green tea and Japanese tea powder. Oh, that's interesting. Thanks for guessing, Sue. I don't even know what Japanese tea powder is. But maybe you could let us know. Let me know what, you know what I like? I like jasmine tea. That reminds me of Japanese tea powder. Jasmine tea is I really enjoy jasmine tea. So for the green tea, I like a green jasmine tea, or I like sencha tea. So green sencha or green jasmine tea. That's one of the 2 I choose. And then the Pu'er tea is like a combination between black tea and green tea. and they're like, and it's fermented. Like the leaves are fermented, and anything fermented will help improve digestion. So, health properties, anti-cancer properties. There's heart health when it comes to pu'er tea, digestive health. It's really like a super food. And just think about like, so I have a kombucha every single morning that helps promote digestion, and I have a green tea with pu'er tea in it, with pu'er leaves in it as well. So think about the health benefits, for example, of my digestive tract. I'm always looking to prevent. I'm always cleaning and cleansing and putting good things in it. Even when, like even the odd time when I don't have a great meal, I feel like my digestive tract is much stronger because I'm always preventing, I'm always treating, if you will. So that's what I have going on there with the green tea and pu'er tea. Good guess, Mom. Sue says green tea, Japanese powder. Maybe sencha. Maybe it's sencha. It could be. I'm not sure what Japanese powder is. There's that matcha tea that's like a powder. I heard there's tons of health benefits for that. I've had a really hard time enjoying that. It's so bitter. And I think when we talked about green tea, a lot of people weren't really enjoying the green tea. And the green tea, usually because people burn it. So you put too much hot water, like the water's too hot, and you pour it over your leaves or your loose leaves, for example. Or you get like a Lipton green tea, which is like, you have to find like a good quality, whatever it is. Like Lipton would be probably the cheapest on the market, and it doesn't taste very good. Or if you make your tea, I've also found like if you make your tea and you brew it too long, so you have to brew it for less than 3 minutes. And if you brew it for more than 3 minutes, it turns bitter and like very strong that most people don't like. And I've also found that if you let it sit for too long, so if you don't drink your green tea right away, like sometimes I'll drink my tea the next morning. Like if I make it like a big pot of it, and then I kind of forget. Sometimes like here I'll have this is my green tea, for example. So I'll make this much, like have one of these a day. But sometimes when I have one of those big, I forget what they're called. You put the leaves in there and then you squish it down. Does anyone know what that's called? You squish it down, then sometimes I have that the next day and it's cold and it's like, I don't mind it, but it's a bit bitter. So I think the longer you let your green tea sit, the more bitter it becomes. So people really they don't enjoy that bitterness. So drink it while it's hot, like pretty quickly after you make it. Don't burn the leaves, and then only let it steep for 3 minutes, and don't buy the cheapest one on the market, and you're good. Okay. Sue says maybe sencha. Oh, matcha. It's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, matcha tea. Yeah, that one's tough. I haven't really got into it yet. I know there's a lot of different things you can do with it. Someone gave me like a big bag. Like I traded a bag of CTP for matcha powder, and so I was trying the matcha and not working out for me. Okay, next question is: Does anyone know the 4 ingredients in this green bag of CTP? 4 ingredients. What you got? You guys should know. I feel like I know there's a couple other people in here. Who's in here? Can you guys let me know in the comments who's watching? Because I'd like to know. I know there's a few of you. I can see Sue. I can see Hilda. Dave's in here. Michelle. I think there's a couple other people in here. So let me know in the comments below. Hilda said I can't make matcha work either. Yeah, I'm not sure. If anyone has any matcha tips or suggestions, let us know in the comments, because I'm not really, don't know how to make that work. No idea. Okay, 4 ingredients in the green bag of CTP. What you got? Who knows what's in it? I've got a bunch more questions here, but I'm only going to be hanging on here for about 10 more minutes, and then I'll let you guys go. I got a couple more questions. Well, you better know, Michelle. Okay, Michelle got it. Let's just bring it. Michelle's actually a distributor in the Sylvan Lake, Red Deer area. She's in Sylvan Lake, and she's a distributor for us. So she's selling CTP. So if you're in the Red Deer area, you need to contact Michelle. She'll hook you up. She's awesome. and she'll definitely help you out. She knows a bunch about the product. She's helping us out with the CTP page, and we have quinoa, hemp hearts, maca, stevia. We believe that you should have simple ingredients that you can read and understand. You should be able to. Dorothy says that was an easy one. Yeah, it was an easy one, but some people might not know. some people may not know. So I thought I should share that in case some people didn't know what was in it. So I was just mentioning, like, this is our green bag of CTP, what's in it. So quinoa, slow digesting carbohydrate. This is all the macronutrients you need. Also a complete protein. Very interesting if you didn't know. Same thing with hemp seeds. We have hemp seeds in here. Those are our two main products, quinoa and hemp seeds. And both complete proteins, both superfoods, high in fiber, trace minerals, a number of things going on there. And then we have maca, which is a natural root growing up in the high Andes Mountains. Super cool, very interesting to me. It's an adaptogen. It's also known for hormone regulation in women, a natural energy boost, amazing superfood, maca. And then we have stevia. We had a very small amount of stevia. We recently started to use the white stevia powder instead of the green stevia powder. And a lot of people are used to the green. And they're like, oh, I don't like that. It gives me a bad aftertaste. So if you haven't tried the white stevia, try it. And I wouldn't recommend it in coffee. You know what the thing is? Like, I'm talking about stevia specifically. A lot of people have, like, try to substitute stevia for sugar. And it's not the same. Like, it's a different product. Like, if you have sugar for years, or like those artificial sweeteners, like, they're horrible toxins for you. Like, horrible toxins that you put in your body. But if you grab something like stevia, it's from a plant, it's natural, it tastes pretty good to me. The green one, I like had like a very greeny aftertaste, and I really didn't enjoy it that much. But then I started to have the white one, and it's much better. Like, it's not so green. So try that one. Dorothy's starting to bake with it, and she's coming up with some amazing recipes. So instead of a liquid, she's using a powder form, and that might make things a bit easier, or some people might like powders instead. So think about that. Like, think about adding stevia as well. Let's see what we have here. Michelle said, I feel like I was cheating a bit. Yeah, you're definitely cheating. But I do like the comments, so bring it. Sue said, quinoa, stevia, maca, and hemp. Yeah, you got it, Sue. Sue's been to some of our events. She's been following us for a while. Sue, thank you so much for your shares on social media and your comments and being here with us. That really means a lot. And then what did Michelle say? I got CTP for days. It's amazing. Yeah, I always love your energy, Michelle. And enthusiasm. Like, usually Dorothy's the only one, like, bouncing off the walls. And I feel like you could, like, compete with that, which is scary to me. Because, like, I have to, like, try to be, like, excited. Usually I'm like, meh, just, like, laid back. And Dorothy's, like, bouncing off the walls, and I was like, you need someone to, like, bounce off the walls with. Okay, how many liters of water should we have a day? Is that an easy question? I don't know if that's an easy question, but I thought hydration would be a good topic to discuss here real quick. So, how many liters a day should we have? We could break that up between men and women, or just in general. How many liters of water do you think you should have in a day? This is kind of fun. I feel like this is way better than just sitting here and talking and, like, getting a few comments. Like, I actually get a chance to, like, talk to you guys and see what you think and what you know. This is awesome. What a great idea I had. Patting myself on the back here. Okay, is anyone guessing here? How many liters of water should you have a day? Let's see what I have. Maybe I have one or two more questions I'm going to ask, but I think we'll wrap it up. Oh, I asked that one. That one's going on right now. Oh, I'll ask one more. How many liters of water should we... Those of you coming in and out, we're just hanging out here. Friday morning live. I'm asking... We're playing true form trivia. I'm asking questions, and you're answering them sometimes. So, just going to wrap things up. Oh, what's up, Mar? Thanks for tuning in. Mar says half your body weight in liters. Well, in ounces, I suppose. I'm not sure what you mean, Mar. Let me know. Give me some details, Mar. What you got? Oh, in ounces. Okay, so we got Sue that said 2. Mar says half your body weight. Anyone else want to guess? How many liters of water should we have a day, every single day? Okay, doesn't look like anyone else is going to guess. So the answer is 2 to 3. So you're right, Sue. And then sorry, Mar, I didn't mean to not answer your question. I don't know, like I just know it as 2 to 3. We could break down the ounces. I don't know the ounces. Like I would look at milliliters. So you can look at like 500 milliliters. 500 milliliters, you would need 2,000 milliliters for 2 liters. I don't know how many ounces though. Like those little like plastic water bottles that people love and that I can't stand. That is 500 milliliters. So 4 of those. And men is usually a bit more. Like they recommend men to like 3 to 4, and I think that's a lot. Like 4, like that's a gallon. And like we did a little experiment. We did a cleanse, and we were drinking a gallon of water a day, and that's like you pee a lot. Like you should pee. Like your urine should be white. That's how you know you're hydrated. You should be going pee throughout the day. I think people usually pee like 2 or 3 or 4 times a day. That's not enough. Like you need to pee throughout the day like a dozen times. And so we need to flush out toxins. We need to replace. We need to rehydrate. There's so many benefits to staying hydrated. I think a lot of people don't know what it's like to be hydrated because we drink coffee, which is a diuretic. We drink sugary drinks like juices, pops. Like we're putting all kinds of junk in our body, and we don't realize how great it feels to be hydrated. And for me, I talked about listening to your body. Like for me, if I'm dehydrated on like yesterday, then today I'm going to be thirsty. And I can tell like, oh, I'm so thirsty. So if you're thirsty and you're like chugging a 2-liter bottle of Coke, like that's not going to hydrate you. So we like need to pay attention to our hydration levels. So they recommend 3 to 4 liters for men. I think that's like 4 liters. I think that's a bit much. I felt like when I was drinking 4 liters we did this cleanse for 3 days, and I thought it was like way too much. So I think 3, like for men, 3 liters is good to hang around in, like around that area. And then for women, they recommend 2 liters. So that's a good guess. So, and I also think like 2 liters is important. And I think that most people drink far less water than they think they do. Well, I know that for sure. Because I would ask people like Phil, like when I was doing more personal training with people, like more one-on-one work, I would ask them and they would be like, oh, I drink tons of water. And then I'd give them a success journal and I'd be like, okay, why don't you write down your water? And that's why it's so important we write it here every day. Like right here in the book, let me switch this camera here. Let me see if we can get a zoom in. So right here in the book, it says check mark how many times, like you're going to, on this side, you're going to fill out, like put a check mark every time you drink a glass of water. So I just have 8 here, but that could represent something different. So I would pull this out and I would look at it, and just about everyone was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I didn't drink enough water, or I didn't drink as much water as I should. And most people don't track, they don't count, and then they don't take into account like coffee, for example, or those energy drinks. Like those don't count as water. And if you drink if you drink 1 cup of coffee, you have to drink 2 cups of water. You have to replace it and then drink more to get your extra in. Did I explain that properly? So, like there's different ways to get more coffee. There's different ways to get more liquids in. Like you can, like some people don't like water, or they don't like the taste of the water, so you can flavor it with like herbs, for example, or fruits. That's a great way. You can drink from a straw. Dorothy does that all the time. She says that she's found it much easier to get more water in drinking from a straw. She also likes those little tiny clear bottles. So instead of a big, like, giant jug that you're drinking from all day or a big water bottle, she likes the smaller ones because she feels like she can drink more. So that's a little tip for you. If you're going to drink from a straw, we don't recommend plastic in any way, shape, or form. So actually, Hilda got me got us these stainless steel straws, which are really cool. So there's a lot of things that you can do to increase your water intake. I would suggest you write it down. Like, write down how much water you drink. Like, every time you finish it, write it down. And then see if that's what you do every day. Like most people, when I say most people, I'm talking about like 90% of people. And like, I worked with people like one-on-one for years. And it was the same, like we didn't change that much. It was like the same thing of people like, oh, I drink tons of water. I remember the first time I asked the guy about how much water he drinks, and he's like, oh, I drink tons of water. And I was like, well, how much is tons of water? And he says, well, I drink he literally pulled out a little cup from like one of those things that sit on top of one of those water things. That's all they had at this little gym I was working at. And he's like, oh, I drink tons of water. I drink 5 or 6 of these a day. And he had like one of these little cups, and I thought he was joking. And like, nope, 100% serious. And I was like, well, like, what's he comparing that to? Or like, who is drinking less than that? Yeah, how are you alive? So we have to understand that everyone's perspective is different, and everyone thinks something slightly different about like what they're doing. So I would highly suggest counting, because if you don't count, I don't think you really know. I do it myself. Like, I feel like I drink enough water, and if I don't count, like for me, I like these glass jars that are, I drink out of glass jars, and they're a liter. So I'll make sure I drink 2 of those a day, and I'm good. Usually more. I don't count my green smoothie. I wouldn't count that as a liquid, and I don't count my green tea. But you could, like, you can count tea as your water intake, but I don't. So I have at least the 2 liters, then my other liquids throughout the day as well. And then usually I'm a bit thirsty, so I'll have like a coconut water on top of that, and maybe extra water as well. But try to get in your 2 liters for sure as a minimum. Sue says body weight divided by 2 equals number of ounces a day. Okay, thanks, Sue. I'm not like a math person. I'm not dividing anything. That's just me personally. That was for Mar. Thanks for that, Sue. Like, Mar, if you're looking for half your body weight, so divide your body weight by 2, and you'll get number of ounces a day. It's awesome. So my last question, I'm gonna let you guys go with this. Do you think did I start out as a personal trainer first, or a fitness class instructor first? This may be a trick question. So those of you some of you have been with us for years. Some are a bit newer. So let me know in the comments. Was I a personal trainer first, or was I a fitness class instructor first when I started out my business? Let me know. Sue's talking about the last comment here. She says 1 cup equals 250 milliliters, approximately 8 ounces. Okay, so 8. See, now, so are you trying to make me do math here? So if we go, I think you're trying to help me out. I know. So if we go, 1 cup is 250 milliliters. So if you get one of those little plastic bottles, I think that's 1 cup. I think that's. So if you go, 1 cup is 250 milliliters. So 2 cups is one of those 500 milliliters. Is that right? I don't think so. Now I feel like I have to go and experiment. So one of those 500 milliliter bottles is 2 cups. I don't know. That doesn't seem right. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not like a math guy. So 8 ounces. So 16 times 4. I should know that. What's 16 times 4, guys? So that would be how many ounces I would suggest. $64 ounces. So you should have 64 ounces, I guess. Okay, we're doing math here. It's Friday morning. I don't know. I feel like we should be doing math this early, Sue. Okay, we got Sue that said personal trainer. Michelle says class instructor. Anyone else want to guess what I started out with? 1 cup is 8 ounces. Okay. I don't even know. Okay. Personal trainer or fitness class instructor. What you got? 64. Thanks, Michelle. Got it. Wrapping things up here. Friday Morning Live. Don't forget to check out our brand new YouTube Day in the Life. You got to do some editing today. We have one ready, but I think I want to put out Social Media Marketing World, Michelle. We should do that first, but I got to finish editing it. Michelle says, we are doing the math. You're just reaping the benefits. I said 64 first. Is there a delay? That's great. Anytime someone wants to do the math for me instead, my ear is driving me crazy. That's why I got a little itch in there. Okay, personal trainer or fitness class instructor. Sue said personal trainer. Michelle said class instructor. I don't even I'm trying to think of if I don't even know the answer. My gosh. Okay, give me a second to think about it. Okay, I'll tell you guys the answer. Maybe there's like a little twist here. All right, so did I start business like True Form as a fitness class instructor or as a personal trainer? Personal trainer? Hell, this it. Maybe mom, you know more than I do. I don't even know. My gosh, my memory. Okay, so this is what happened is I was traveling, like traveling throughout. See, like I was playing professional baseball, and I was traveling through different seasons and different leagues and different continents. And then at one time, I like it did like a contract didn't work out going back to Europe, and I needed to start a business. Oh, someone's talking about me. Is that why I have an itchy ear? That's what Sue said. Who's talking about me? Okay, so I was traveling in and out from different countries, states, continents, and yeah, Michelle says, so trick question, you mean tricky for you? Yeah, it's tricky for me. I don't remember. I think it was, okay, so I always say, short answer is I always say that it was from fitness classes. But I think, so when I was traveling, I was making programs for myself, like personal training like fitness programs for myself. And then I started to do them for my teammates. So that could be considered personal training, I guess. I didn't actually train them, but a lot of my teammates would like start working out with me. They're like, oh my gosh, this guy's always working out. This guy's like getting stronger. He's getting more muscle. So all the teammates are like lining up to like work out with me at different levels, depending on where I was at. And so I was doing that. I don't know if you can count that as personal training. And then I don't remember if I started personal training. Then I was working at a gym, like I was working at a counter at a gym in Didsbury, and then people started asking me questions, and I would answer them. So then they would ask me more questions, and then they would send their friends to ask me questions, and I'm like just, I don't know what you call it, reception, just sitting there at the desk, getting paid minimum wage, and they're asking me these questions, and I was like, well, maybe I should get certified to be a trainer. So then I got certified as a personal trainer, and I don't know if I started doing personal. I was helping people. I was like doing some programs and stuff. But to actually launch my business, like I don't know if I was doing any personal training clients then, but like to actually launch. Oh, I think I was doing personal training in Didsbury. And then I wanted to run fitness classes. I'm not really sure. I didn't really feel like a business. Maybe I just had like a few clients that I was working with. And then like to launch True Form, I was like, how do I get people to like know who I am and what I'm doing? Like, how do I help more people? Like, I think maybe I had like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people that I was working with. So I think it's coming back to me. Is that right, Mom? Is that what happened? And so I think then I was like, I got to do more with business. I got to make some money. So then I started trying to promote fitness classes, and I didn't know how to use Facebook. I didn't really know anyone in town, so I put up some posters, and then I was all excited. I love to tell this story at entrepreneur events, by the way. So, and then I was all excited, and I was like, I'm going to do these classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the park, and so I was all excited. It's part of some green smoothie going on there. Shell says you need to pull yourself together. I am. I'm explaining. Pay attention. Okay. So, and I was all excited. I'm going to run these fitness classes at the park. And I start promoting. I start telling everyone I knew who I didn't know what promotion was. I didn't know anyone. So I put up some posters. And I didn't put up anything on social media. I didn't even know how social media worked. And so I show up at the park and all excited. No one shows up. So it's just me. And I'm like sitting there at the park. I'm like, oh my gosh, no one's showing up. So then like Wednesday, no one showed up. Monday, I was like, is anyone going to show up? Like, should I show up? Like, I was like, I should show up. What if someone comes? So I show up on Wednesday. And then no one showed up on Wednesday. And I was like, oh man. And it was like rainy season. And it was like, people started, I think I got it. These memories are coming back to me. I don't think about the past too often. Is that weird? I'm always thinking about the future and where we're going. I think that's why I'm having trouble remembering this. So then so then Friday comes and it's raining. So I'm sitting in the rain and it's raining on me, literally. No one's coming and I'm embarrassed. Like people are driving by and I'm embarrassed. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, what if someone sees me sitting at a park and they're like, he's sitting there all alone and like supposed to have these fitness classes and no one's there. So I'm like sitting on a swing. If you could picture this, I'm sitting on a swing, like in the rain, like looking around, like, is anyone going? Oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing to like even think about. And that's what. And then I was like, maybe some people are like driving to the park to work out, and they see no one there except for me, and they're like, I don't want to join a class with no one in, and then they drive away. So, and then I had one person show up, Crystal Worth, and I know what. So I know what I was doing. I had fitness classes, like I was taking personal training clients. Then I left. I think I went to Australia for baseball season, and then I came back, and I didn't have any personal training clients. So I was like, I need to start running fitness classes. So I think it started out with personal training and then to fitness classes. But fitness classes really launched my business. So it really launched True Form. The other stuff was like a hobby, I would say. Although I did start to have like clients, like I used to have like 3 or 4 clients for like every day for the week until I left for Australia. So it's all coming back to me. So whoever said personal training was right first, and then it went to fitness classes. But then the fitness classes actually launched. So no one would show up, and then Crystal I knew from before, a couple of years before, and she actually showed up. So she showed up, and we did a workout together. Then I started knocking on doors, and I started knocking on doors and asked businesses to join me for fitness classes, and like everyone was like, no, I'll get back to you, not really interested. And then I ran into Shelly, and Shelly's actually the owner of, it was a daycare in town. And she's like, okay, we'll do it as a group. So she brought out all of her employees. I think it was like 8 of them. And we started working out in the park. And then people were driving by and they saw all these people working out. And then people started asking me to do more personal training. Like I wasn't doing personal training at the time, just fitness classes. And I was doing fitness classes like 3 days a week. And then sometimes I was doing fitness classes twice a day. So I was doing them in Didsbury. I was doing them in Olds. Twice a day in Didsbury, I think 3 times a day in Olds, like 3 times a day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, twice a day in Didsbury, something like that. I don't know if you guys are interested in all those details, but so it's really interesting. But for me to like knock on doors and like ask people to like come out was so difficult, super challenging. But so from there, that's where really True Form really began. Like I started to turn into a business from those fitness classes. We averaged like 20 people. That summer, we averaged like 20 people a workout class, which is a big workout class for me. And we had like T-shirt night. Bean Brokers came out. Health Street came out. And offered like treats and snacks, and it was fun. It was awesome. And that was like the real beginning, I think. So that was a long-winded answer to to my question, but I'm gonna let you guys go. I know that there's people. Seems like people are leaving. Maybe people are going to work, and those of you that are sticking around, I don't want to keep you any longer than you want to be here. So thank you so much for tuning in. That was fun. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to do another true farm trivia. If you think that was a good idea, I got a bunch more questions. I only got to about half of them, but let me know if you guys want to do another true farm trivia. We have Entrepreneur coming up on my calendar's that way. Wednesday night at April 4th at 7 p.m. at Flames and Old. So if you're interested or know anyone that is, we still have, I think we have 7 people signed up still. So we only wanted to take 10. I don't even know if we're going to get 10, but 3 more spots available for that. So if you're interested, come and join us. And that's going to be super fun. And I think that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you get a chance to share this video, maybe you know anyone that wants to learn about healthy living. If you want to share it with your audience on your page, that's awesome. That always means a lot to us. So that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here. I'm out of here. Take care, guys. This is the awkward part where I am trying to figure out how to end this video. Oh, there it is. Great first trivia show, Drew. Loved it. Thanks, Mom. All right, guys. Found the button. See ya.